Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Last week you may have seen the video where I was decorating my pots and setting things out at my front door for the holidays here, but I didn't get a chance to do my wreath. So I wanted to just give you a quick look at how I did that. So hopefully a really quick video. I just took the old frame that I'd used in a previous video. I'd made a frame all natural out of just twigs and branches from my yard and a little bit of jute twine, put that together, and I decorated it with some leaves and seed heads and things. So I stripped all the leaves and seed heads and extra things off of it. And I went out to the farm and I collected some greenery from Mom and Dad's trees, and then I picked up a few extra bundles of things that we don't have a lot of around here, and it's just easier to go purchase them, like some arborvitae and just a heavier spruce. We have spruce here, but the ones you can purchase in the store I find a little bit nicer than the ones that I get out. Just it's an added element. So you can see the pine that I picked up at the store is much heavier, much thicker with the needles, and the pine that I picked up from the farm is a lot looser in the needles, and I think they both add a nice contrast and texture. And then I also picked up some arborvitae, and there is some blue spruce in here from the farm. Then I also went and I picked up some of the seed heads off of the Jade Princess millet that I grew this year. I still had some seed heads that were looking really nice, and I really liked the color. And since I'd done a lot of blue and kind of silvery looks out here, I thought this would maybe be a nice addition instead of red berries and that, to have those kind of purpley brown seed heads from the millet, and I'm loving them. Some of them were a little bit ratty on the ends, and I just snipped those ends off. There's a cotoneaster shrub, and I clipped some of the branches off of that with some of the berries, so these dark bluey black berries, and they don't show up a ton, you know, from a distance, but they still add a nice little element in, especially as you get closer. So everything on here is naturally done. I didn't use any wires. The frame is made out of, you know, like I said, sticks and things from the yard. And then this is just a burlap ribbon that I used, and it's not wired either. So, you know, it'll just degrade if I put it in the compost as well. The only thing on here that isn't compostable is I did put a very small, I did put a string of lights on here. So I just have some little dot lights on here, and it's just strung around. So all I did is I took that frame and I just put layers of all the different types of greenery that I had into little bundles, and then I would put a millet seed head on top of all the greenery, wire it in. Then I'd make a couple of bundles with just the greenery. Then I would put one of the cotoneaster branches on top of a bundle of greenery, and then I'd put in a few more bundles of just greenery, and then the jade millet, and I think you get the idea. So I just went all the way around, just tying those bundles on, and I just used jute twine, and I just used a continuous thread. So I started with the jute twine. I just tied the end of it onto the frame, and then I just used that jute twine to just keep wrapping. I'd do 3 wraps around each bundle, and I would kind of alternate the bundles, so one would be pointing in a little bit, one would be pointing out, and you know, some of them were in the center, and it just was kind of whatever I needed to make it look like it was filling in and covering up the frame and any branches and that really nicely. So a super simple project, like I said, all natural other than the lights, and I think it's just good to see, you know, what you can make with just things mostly you found around the yard. I mean, I didn't have to go buy that extra greenery. I like to, but I certainly could have done with just the greenery and twigs and things that you find around the yard. So have a look and see what you have. I did another smaller wreath that's on my side fence. I'll give you a quick look at. So now again, that's just the spruce, and I think there's a little bit of the pine from out at the farm in there. I can't remember, I might have added a bit of arborvitae in, but you could also just grab cedar or some arborvitae, you know, or juniper even from your own yard to do that. So this is a much smaller wreath. You can see it's only about a foot, maybe 15 inches across, and there's a little bit of the cedar or arborvitae in here, but you could easily collect that even in our climate, or like I said, juniper would work great as well. And then it's just the pine from the farm and the spruce from the farm, and I think it looks nice. Then I just have a simple jute ribbon just wrapped around just to tie on my knocker on my fence. So 2 examples of just really easy, all natural. The frame again is just made from twigs from my yard. I just wove them together. I didn't even tie them, just a quick weave. Just about 4 branches just woven together there. So hopefully you found it interesting to see what you can make just from gathering things around your own yard, and maybe give you some inspiration to go out, find what you can, build a beautiful wreath of your own. Look for something that's just a little bit different to add into it. Thanks for watching. Bye.